Morning, Nigel. Not the desired result on Friday, but what positives can you take heading into tomorrow's match at Leyton Orient?
I think the last 30 or 40 minutes of the game, I think that was very good indeed, and with a little bit more of a bit of good fortune and better finishing, we could have got something out of the game, and that's been the story in the last few games, all been the same. Wycombe, we should have had something. We should have had a point at home at Crawley at least. Cambridge, we could have easily come back, even if we'd have got that penalty early on as well. And then the Northampton one, certainly. We've been beaten by a set play, which is always disappointing when we've highlighted that's their main threat. But that's how it seems to be going at the moment. I think I said to you a week or so ago, I think we're going to have to be faultless to get a result. And that's how it feels.
How can you go about getting back to that?
Well, every single corner, long throwing. I mean, when you do with 99% of what they throw at us, which we did, tried to get it down and play, and then got into some good situations and areas ourselves, especially late on. You just have to finish one of those off. But if it's, it's a clean sheet we're absolutely desperate for at the moment.
Let's have a roll call and speak about players. Firstly, how's Lewis Reed?
Yeah, he's okay. Not sure if we'll risk him or not with this hamstring cum glute problem, whatever they call it these days. So we'll see how he's in training, as whether we take him or not down to Orient.
Lee Gregory had to go off on Friday after about half an hour with a knee problem.
Yeah, we're waiting on that one. Know a bit more, I would think, later on in the week, but I wouldn't think he'd be okay for Orient.
Will Evans?
Yeah, he's come on well since straining his hamstring very slightly last week. Another one, at what stage do you risk him? We're all very conscious that at this stage of the season, all of a sudden, if it was to go completely, you're talking 6 weeks, and you're talking end of March. By the time he comes back mid-April, something like that. So it's a very tricky one, especially in the situation we're in. We need results, we need points, so we might have to risk one or two.
How's Matty Craig?
He's not progressed as much as or as well as we hoped. It seems to be a back problem more than a hamstring. The scan was clear, but he's still getting a little bit of discomfort when he tries to extend in running. So no date on that one yet.
Any update on Deji or Fraser Blake Tracy?
Yeah, coming on as expected. Hopefully a few weeks' time they'll both be ready. I would think probably early March, something like that, which is about where we thought they would be. One more game for Bailey Cargill. I think we missed him out of the list of missing players, but it is when they are starters. I think that's what really hurts. Deji, Fraser, Bailey being starters for us, Lewis Reed, and then after half an hour you've got your two leading scorers missing. It certainly has an impact.
Yeah, reeling that list of names off, you really are down on numbers.
Yeah, we're okay squad wise, but it's just when they are such important players for us. When you lose your two leading goal scorers when we're desperate for a goal, then it certainly hinders the effort. But we keep going and try and get through it. There's nothing else. We feel a bit like Spurs. I watched a bit of them yesterday, and I feel for them because I think he's got quite a few out as well. And they're getting every single thing. Goalkeeper's making an error now, which Christie did a week or so ago, and it just feels we're very, very similar to them at the moment. Not quite as good, obviously, but in terms of the way things are going for them.
Let's speak about the opponents, Leyton Orient, who played Manchester City in the FA Cup on Saturday. It was a fantastic performance from the Owls.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? You must have heard about it.
Yeah, of course. I read the report and everything, and I'll get something on it today. But they said, when you play Manchester City, we can't learn too much about them. It's more the bread and butter that they've played in the last few weeks, where I think that they're probably the form team in the league at the moment. Must be absolutely brimming with confidence. They've had an incredible run. I think they had a bit of a slow start, but they've picked up unbelievably in the last 2 or 3 months.
Are you expecting that performance to give them even more confidence, or are you hoping that they left everything on the field and, a little bit lethargic heading into tomorrow?
You never know, but it won't have done them any harm if they did play that well. And obviously the scoreline only being 2-1 and a relatively late goal as the winner. So I think it'll give them a lift.
As you say, they're in good form. Stags heading to the capital tomorrow night. Mansfield have recently played sides lower down the table, but they now come up against a side, as you say, doing well and in the higher positions in League One. Do Mansfield raise their game, would you say, against the so-called better sides in this league, or is that too simple an analysis?
I think that's a little bit too simple. We're aware that the next 4 are from teams against teams above us, with Orient, Blackpool, we've got Lincoln and Wrexham. 2 at home, 2 away, and we need to get some results, on the back of 6 consecutive defeats. But I think what we've shown is that we've nothing to fear when we go to anybody in the league, especially when we've got our best team out, which we won't quite have at the moment, but still nothing to fear. And we've got to approach it that way as well. We're still in a reasonable position. We've got to get 4 wins out the next 18 games.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.